This video is made for adult collectors because Young Warrior Emgo reference. So one of the things that I noticed about this just now while I was getting this guy transformed, this got a tape and it's got like the record, play, stop, rewind, and fast forward buttons. It's actually might be easier if I do this. Yeah, you can see that. I didn't notice that till just now. That's kind of cool. There's like a little cassette recorder in the book. For you people that are young, let's say you used to listen to music. Another of the 13 primes has graced us with their presence, Alpha Trion, and it's younger Alpha Trion, so no beard, because in G1 when he was younger, he didn't have a beard. I'm okay with the no beard. I get what they're going for, and I also want that, but I do understand people wanting the beard look as well. I'll talk more about the head though later, because this figure has more than just a slightly wonky head, because it's great. This is Alpha Trion from Transformers Age of the Primes, and this was bought at Walmart Canada. Here's the box, not sponsored. I dig the colors, but the biggest eye catcher to me is the level of detail. There is a lot of sculpting here that really pops, and then the colors. I like the shade of purple used, and the burgundy really complements it. I think my favorite part visually is the shoulder pads. The shaping of them and the detail is what draws my eyes to them first before anything else on the toy. The shoulder spikes are also separate parts and packed in the baggie. His back has the traditional Trion cape thing, and it can be moved around a bit. So can the section on the butt, like coattails, and the coattails can come off and become a shield on the arm, which is nice because he doesn't come with any weapons. He comes with his quill and the Covenant. Yeah, his accessory is a pen and a book. They went all out on the book though. The book has a couple of actually turnable pages that have text and symbols on them. That's really cool. The clear pages is a choice, but it's not awful. The quill is just an unpainted gray feather pen. The only issue I have with the accessories he comes with aren't the actual accessories, it's the way the figure interacts with them. He has no wrist swivels, probably due to just space in that spot. And I feel for a dude whose whole thing is writing in a book, swivels would have really helped sell that writing thing more, because right now it's just awkward the way he holds everything. The head, no beard, can't swap it for the old one. The joint here is a hinge and a swivel due to how this thing transforms. The old one uses a ball joint because it doesn't have to move for the transformation. You could modify the figure, but then the head has to fit in a cavity there. Probably wouldn't be enough space with the beard and how big the head is. I don't think it would work. You could try, someone could prove me wrong, but looking at it right now, I don't think it would work. The Autobot symbol can come off, and it's on a 5mm peg, so it can go like anywhere. Look, here's a bad guy with the Autobot symbol on it because it's funny. It's not that funny. I love how Alpha Trion's the one that gets the most articulation out of all the primes. I think that's, well, I mean, I guess Onyx has the most articulation because of the Centaur mode, but like for a bipedal guy, it's weird. It's cool, I like it, but it is also funny that they give it to the one that we, as fans, most notoriously associate with just being old, even though he's young here. So to start with, the head can do a full 360 and it can look up that far and look down that far, so that's quite nice. It does pull up a little bit on this peg. It doesn't come off, it just pulls up ever so slightly, which I think is kind of funny. The shoulders, they can do a full 360. They can go out that far. The shoulder pads can move independently, so you can put them literally wherever you want. You can have them sit straight down, or you can have them flare out. I kind of like to leave them flared out ever so slightly. It gives them a bit more of a dynamic shape. You do have bicep rotation. You have single jointed elbows that bend more than 90 degrees. You do not have wrist swivels, like I said. You do have opening and closing fingers, which I hope just becomes like a standard on a lot of Voyagers like this. He does have a waist joint, but it doesn't work unless you move the cape out, well, the cape and this little bit out, and then the waist joint can rotate. It can do a full 360. And then the cool thing, he has an ab crunch. He's a dedicated ab crunch. It goes this way as well back. That's for transformation, but this is just because they gave it to us, and I like that. Please do this more on Transformers. It's great. Oh, and the coattails. The coattails can move. The coattails can move out of the way as well to accommodate the hips going forward that far. They can go back that far. You can do a full splits. You do have a thigh rotation, a little bit over 90 degrees of bend at the knee, and then you have ankle tilt. Now, one thing to note that I thought was kind of neat is with the knee pads here, right, they're sitting up straight like this, but because of how they transform, you can flare them out like that if you want that look. So if you want a more dynamic looking knee pad, you can do that. I like it preferably just stock, but if you want to, you can do this, and I think that's pretty neat. But yeah, he is very articulated for just being Alpha Trion, who comes with a book and a pen. If he came with a sword, I'd understand all this articulation. I'm not complaining though, I like the fact that it's here, I just find it funny. Yeah, so very articulated in his young age and pretty solid robot all around. Just wish he had those wrist swivels. Now, this figure shares no parts and no engineering, no nothing with the old one, nor does it share anything with a lot of stuff. It's a brand new mold. I see a lot of people online thinking it's a retool of this, which I don't understand where any of that comes from. There is no shared parts, no shared tooling, no shared engineering. He's on the floor now. So to get this guy into what is essentially hot dog mode, we're going to take the head and we're going to push it back. We're going to straighten out these shoulder pads and we're going to fold the wrists in. Like so, and you have these little pegs sticking out. Those are for alt mode. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to bring this section out and open this up. We're going to bring that blue section around and close this over the head. And this is where I'm not sure the beard would get in the way. There's a slot cut out here. So maybe you could, but like again, this joint and stuff, it's just weird. The head is very flat when you rotate it, and that's so that it fits in this cavity. And the old one isn't flat, it's very round. So he's on the floor again. Close that up, bring this up. We're going to take these sections and just rotate them out like this and down 90 degrees and leave it there. We're going to take this piece here and we're going to bring it, oh no, before we bring it up, we're going to rotate the waist 180 degrees. Then we're going to bring it up. Then you want to separate these and then close it back up and just leave it there like that. Fold the heels in and then fold the feet down, rotate the legs 90 degrees and peg them together. Make a nice solid click. Make sure everything is straightened out and then bring these on double hinges out to there without unpegging the legs. Thank you. Then we're going to take the ab crunch, and there are 2 slots right here for 2 tabs in the hips. So you bring this up and you just want to give it a nice good old squeeze to get everything squished into place. Bring this down and this will peg into the front of the jet right here and here. And then these will swing down and just sort of hug everything into place. Get the cockpit plugged in. Then these are going to slide into those little slots there. So one arm, and it's going to tab into this part here as well. And the other arm. Then you want to take this bit here and it's going to peg in underneath the arm and into that slot there. So you get all this lined up and clicked into place. Lined up and clicked into place. And then the book very cleverly goes underneath here like that. Keeps this nice and flush. And the quill just kind of less gracefully stores right there. Make sure all that's nice put together. And there you have whatever that's supposed to be mode. It looks cool. It's a space boat. But I don't know, I kind of like the rougher look of this over the previous versions. Totally smooth and totally not Scourge. The pink stripes going down the side is nice with the metallic pink and that metallic blue on top. I dig that. I like the silver on the front with the toes just sticking out there. And then the hidey hole for the head is kind of funny. Reminds me of Megatron. I do like how all the bits store at the bottom. The book has a nice flush way of storing. The pen is less graceful, but it still hides away very nicely. There is technically an opening cockpit. Like it's for transformation and it kind of can't really fit a Titan Master unless you really squish him in there, but it's neat for a little like display of sorts. You can have the cockpit open. It also has a nice hand feel. Everything holds together very solidly and nothing wants to come apart. Those tabs are super secure. I like this. I like it way more than the 2-pack one, given it feels better to me and looks better to me and poses better. I fully get why some people would want the older, shorter Alpha Trion over the younger, taller one. That completely makes sense. But for my display and my shelf and how I see them doing the primes and stuff, this is when they were still alive. I think Alpha Trion being young and this tall like this works better on the shelf for me. I do recommend it. It's a fun Voyager figure and it looks great with the rest of those primes. But that's my look at Age of the Primes Alpha Trion. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.